President Trump issued his strongest signal yet of potential military action inside Venezuela, responding, "Well, you're going to find out," when asked. President Donald Trump delivered his strongest signal yet of possible military action inside Venezuela when he responded with the words, "Well, you are going to find out," after being asked if he was prepared to order an attack against drug cartels operating on Venezuelan soil. His remarks did not carry the typical diplomatic caution that is often used in such sensitive matters. Instead, his answer appeared to suggest that Washington is seriously considering direct intervention against narcotics groups that have long been accused of using Venezuelan territory for trafficking routes. The comments came just days after a deadly U.S. military strike destroyed a suspected drug smuggling boat in the Caribbean. That strike left several traffickers dead and added to rising speculation that the White House was escalating its campaign against Latin American cartels in ways not seen in recent years. The United States has already moved large numbers of naval and air assets into the region. A massive buildup of U.S. warships has been reported, with several destroyers and support vessels deployed off the Venezuelan coast. Advanced aircraft, including the stealth-capable F-35 fighter jets, have also been stationed at bases in the Caribbean and Central America. At the same time, hundreds of U.S. Marines have been placed on high alert, suggesting that Washington is preparing for rapid response missions that could include strikes on cartel infrastructure or raids against high-value targets connected to the Venezuelan narcotics network. Trump has repeatedly framed the fight against drug cartels as a matter of national security and survival for the United States. He has argued that the flow of narcotics into American cities has contributed to addiction crime and social decline, and therefore warrants military-level action against foreign cartels that provide supply lines. His administration has long accused Venezuelan leaders, including Nicolás Maduro, of colluding with drug traffickers and enabling smuggling operations in exchange for financial support. The escalation comes at a time when Venezuela remains politically and economically unstable. Maduro continues to hold power despite years of international pressure and sanctions. The opposition, led by figures such as Juan Guaidó, has struggled to dislodge him, and the Venezuelan economy has collapsed under the weight of hyperinflation, corruption, and international isolation. In this environment, drug trafficking has flourished, providing both cartels and corrupt officials with much-needed revenue. U.S. officials argue that only a direct and forceful approach can break these networks. Critics, however, warn that a military strike inside Venezuela could trigger wider conflict and destabilize an already fragile region. Analysts point out that deploying U.S. forces into sovereign territory without international approval would violate international law and could provoke backlash not only from Venezuela but also from Russia, China, and Cuba, which continue to support Maduro. Russia, in particular, has military advisors and contractors inside Venezuela and has previously warned against U.S. intervention. China has deep financial ties with Caracas and would likely view American military action as a threat to its investments. Supporters of a tougher stance argue that Venezuela has become a narco-state where government officials are directly involved in drug trafficking. They claim Maduro and his allies have turned Venezuela into a base of operations for cartels that feed the U.S. drug crisis. From this perspective, a military operation is not only justified, but necessary to dismantle what they describe as a criminal enterprise, masquerading as a government. Trump has also tied his Venezuela rhetoric to domestic politics. He has sought to present himself as the strongest president against drugs and crime, using tough language that resonates with parts of his political base. By suggesting that the U.S. is prepared to use military force in Latin America, he portrays himself as decisive and unafraid of international criticism. His message is aimed not only at foreign adversaries but also at American voters who see the drug crisis as a national emergency. The presence of advanced U.S. military technology in the region, such as F-35 stealth fighters, signals that Washington is preparing for more than just limited interdiction missions. These jets are capable of precision strikes deep inside Venezuelan territory, including heavily defended areas. Combined with naval assets that can launch